Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever traveled, relocated, or planned a really extended stay with your family in a massive, vibrant metropolis like Dhaka, you already know the unique kind of stress that comes with it, right? Between the dense traffic, figuring out neighborhood accessibility, and just the sheer challenge of keeping everybody comfortable, choosing the right accommodation is absolutely critical. It's literally never just about finding a roof over your head, it's about finding a sanctuary. So today, we're going to walk through the ultimate guide to finding the perfect, totally stress-free furnished serviced apartment for your family. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to cover 5 main areas today. First, the serviced apartment advantage. Second, matching location to your family's needs. Third, prioritizing safety and space. Fourth, evaluating included services. And finally, balancing your budget with true value. Basically, this checklist is going to empower you to make the absolute best choice. All right, Section 1, the serviced apartment advantage. We really need to talk about a major paradigm shift here. The realization that a furnished, serviced apartment is actually a highly practical and, honestly, often superior alternative to traditional lodging. So, traditional hotel or serviced apartment. I want you to think for a second about the common pain points of a long hotel stay with your family. I mean, we've all been there, right? Living out of a suitcase for weeks, maybe even months, eating out for every single meal because, well, you don't have a kitchen, the total lack of privacy. Look, while a traditional hotel is fantastic for a quick weekend getaway, when you're looking at an extended stay, those 4 walls, they can start to feel incredibly restrictive. When you opt for a serviced apartment, you're essentially trading a cramped single room for really spacious living areas. You're getting flexible rental terms, fully equipped kitchens for family cooking, and, crucially, private bedrooms. This solves like the biggest headache of family travel. Imagine this. The kids can be sleeping peacefully in their own room while you and your partner are out in the living room working, reading, or watching TV without waking them up. It literally brings the comfort of home right into your travel experience. Moving on to Section 2, location and family needs. Because before you even start searching, you absolutely need to define your non-negotiable daily routines. Now, what's really interesting here is that a perfect apartment for one family might be a complete disaster for another. You really have to break down the specific needs of your family members. For example, if you're a remote worker, well, a quiet workspace and reliable high-speed internet are absolute must-haves. But say you're traveling with an elderly relative, suddenly elevator access becomes your #1 priority. Got active kids, safe play areas are essential. Make this list before you search, and for sure, you'll avoid making painful compromises later. And when we talk about location, we definitely have to talk about Dhaka. It's a vibrant, incredibly busy commercial city. Choosing a location close to your daily essentials, we're talking your workplace, the kids' schools, healthcare facilities, grocery stores, pharmacies, that is going to save you massive amounts of time. Seriously, don't just look for the cheapest dot on the map. Think about your daily commute. Staying close to these essentials creates a much smoother daily routine and, honestly, drastically reduces the stress of navigating heavy traffic. Which brings us to Section 3, prioritizing safety and space. Once you've nailed down the right location, you've got to ensure the physical environment itself is secure and actually comfortable for the long haul. Listen, security should never, ever be overlooked. And we aren't just talking about a standard lock on the front door here. You really want to look for 24-hour security personnel, comprehensive CCTV monitoring, secure access systems, and verified fire safety equipment with really clear emergency exits. For families, having secure entrances and safe outdoor spaces where the kids can actually play, that's paramount. These specific features guarantee that everyone can just relax and feel totally at ease, whether you're staying for a single month or an entire year. And you know, physical comfort goes way beyond just having a couple of extra bedrooms. True space is about those subtle environmental factors. We're talking an abundance of natural lighting, proper ventilation, and practical, well-thought-out storage space. These are the things that elevate an apartment from a mere rental to a true home. They contribute to a healthier, much more pleasant living environment from the very second you walk through the door. All right, Section 4, evaluating included services. There is a huge difference between a place that's simply furnished and a place that offers professional services genuinely designed to save you time. So the crucial point is, a lot of places claim to be furnished, but a true serviced apartment goes way beyond just throwing a bed and a dining table in a room. We're talking about provided cookware, washing facilities, regular housekeeping, and laundry. When you have things like high-speed Wi-Fi, bundled utility bills, AC, and absolute lifesavers in Dhaka, backup power and water supply included, it adds massive daily value. It just means you spend way less time managing household chores or stressing over utility outages, and way more time actually enjoying life with your family. Let's quickly break down how these practical features directly translate into your family's well-being. Nearby essentials? Well, that equals more quality time and less commute stress. 24/7 security? That's pure peace of mind. A fully furnished setup with Wi-Fi, AC, and laundry? That's just a comfortable, easy lifestyle. And having short-term and long-term lease options gives you the exact financial flexibility you need when plans inevitably change. Of course, finding all this requires a little bit of due diligence. Step 1 is checking out those online photos, but remember, photos rarely tell the whole story. So step 2 is vital. You must read genuine guest reviews. Pay really close attention to comments about the professionalism of the staff, the cleanliness, and how well the maintenance is actually handled. And finally, step 3. If you can, always schedule an in-person visit to verify the facilities and make sure the reality actually matches your expectations. This brings us to our final section, Section 5, Balancing Budget and Value. How exactly do we financially evaluate these properties without accidentally sacrificing our family's quality of life? It is incredibly tempting to just look at the bottom line and pick the lowest price. We all do it. But if you choose cheap rent, you are so often stuck paying separately for utilities, internet, cleaning, and security, not to mention the actual time it takes to manage all of that yourself. On the flip side, a slightly higher-priced service department that bundles all your maintenance, utilities, and services often provides way better overall value. It wipes out those hidden monthly expenses and honestly saves you a tremendous amount of hassle. And this brilliantly illustrates our main takeaway today. Think of your accommodation as an investment in your family's comfort, safety, and peace of mind. You aren't just paying for a place to sleep. You're investing in the very foundation of your family's daily happiness and security during your stay. To summarize it all, a thoughtfully selected apartment really gives you the best of both worlds. You get the high-level convenience and support of hotel services, perfectly blended with the warmth, space, and privacy of your own home. It just provides a level of comfort and flexibility that simply cannot be matched by traditional lodging. Now, if you're actively looking for a place and want to put these criteria to the test, especially if you're focusing on the Bashundhara R residential area in Dhaka, REIT-Limited is a fantastic resource. They offer fully furnished, serviced apartments that tick all these boxes. Plus, they can provide expert help to ensure your family finds the exact right fit during this important transition. You can actually reach them directly by phone at 711-993377 or just check out their website at hotels.com.bd. I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer today. When you're planning your next family stay, will you settle for just a place to sleep? Or will you invest in a welcoming environment where your family can truly live, work, and relax together? The choice is entirely yours, but armed with this checklist, you are absolutely ready to make the best decision for your family. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.